Of course, welcome once forward again. This is the Upper Live Show. Remember, we're here each and every Tuesday live on TGM Radio. If you're watching us, make sure you like, subscribe, share the videos. Then you can look on our page. We have artists here from around the world each and every week right here on TGM Radio. We're there live, and we have another special guest inside the building, Reggae Royalty, one of the crown prince of reggae for Canada. He's here live in the building with us. Kirk Diamond is here. Good evening, sir. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, man, bless up my family.
You like winter England?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
warmer.
Warm.
No,
Canada.
I
cold.
know, but
seven,
what I'm
7 months of the year.
But that's what I'm saying. Him normally forward when time it cool at England, so it's like him not really want forward when time it plays hot.
No,
What-
no,
what?
that like show and them thing there. Take up a whole of the 1 month.
Warm time.
Yeah. Can remember say it's only like him say 7 months are cold, so
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You have to know what Canada does.
I don't understand the latest cycle. This well, I understand it, but the word joyous, it kinda I don't know. It's like did you make that word for title the song?
I know my song.
Me know
I
it's
was just
what?
featured on it.
Okay.
So is an Afrobeats artist named Soji. And him say him have a song named Joyous. I'm like
Just
ask him
Giants.
to explain what he's saying.
Exactly. Because that's why I said me why you explain it.
Right.
Share the explanation at Joy.
Yeah.
With you. And in the same process, tell us how you got the link with.
He was working out of the studio that I work out of.
Okay.
Right, and then the producers called me and said that he really wants to work with me.
The artist himself
Yeah.
specifically identified you.
Yeah, he flew in from Nigeria
Okay.
like the day before and said who he wanted to work with.
Kirk
and
Diamond. Okay.
Me I do nothing, so
Did it free?
yeah,
Just
Okay.
forward.
Okay.
move forward and deal with it. And him explained to me I don't remember, and then I just went into the booth and that's what came
Just
out.
did your thing.
Yeah,
Okay. And I guess this is based on the work that you have been putting in,
Yeah.
the awards that you have been receiving. You open one park to do some park business.
well
they go.
they named the park
Named the
So-
park
so
are named
basically
after the
they-
general in a bruv
Where in Canada is it?
in Brampton.
in Brampton.
Man, the key for the ZD.
You understand? He has been putting in the work. We spoke to you 3 years ago, and within those 3 years, we
Yeah.
have seen growth, we have seen development, and we have seen prosperity. We've seen the joyous growth of your career
Yeah, man.
from the last time we spoke until now. How have things been for you?
Well, the pandemic itself it wasn't bad for me personally
Yeah, explain what happened, what made it not bad for you.
because the world stopped, so it gave me a chance to focus on what I'm doing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? When everything I just move all the while, it's like it drag your focus all over the place. So with that now, I was able to focus on exactly what I wanted to do.
Okay.
What was that?
I realized, especially for Toronto, and then after traveling again and them something, I realized that reggae music is not being played as I think it should. There's no
often.
balance with it. You know what I mean? In the 90s, even if you have a dancehall rhythm, there was some sort of cultural aspect
Yeah.
on the rhythm, right?
So how is reggae in Canada? Because I don't really know of like I know that you are an reggae artist in Canada, but I can't pinpoint like a artist now that's based in Canada that's doing reggae. I know all of hip hop artists from
Right.
Canada.
And exactly that is the problem.
So how did
There's
you?
so much of us, and they not get played, right?
What was the reason for that?
They try to follow Jamaica.
And for
Right,
people
so
who
what
are
the-
not understanding what you mean by following Jamaica, explain what that means, please.
So whatever Jamaica does, Toronto,
You get flu as soon as them sneeze.
right?
So it's like the opposite with
Yeah.
America.
So
and
if,
Jamaica.
for example, now, if this artist is the artist now in Jamaica,
Glorified.
then Toronto glorifies it even more than even Jamaica does,
Okay.
right? So yeah, it's just one of them something there. And other than I think Chronics them that circle was the last of reggae coming
Chronics,
out of
the
Jamaica,
Protege, the
really, yeah.
Kabaka.
So we haven't seen anything out of Jamaica from the reggae side. So there is no reggae movement on the
Happening.
mainstream in Canada other than me at this point.
Yeah, when you talk about Canada Glorify, what are you talking about? The Jamaicans who live in Canada or the Canadians, them who born and bred there?
Jamaicans that live in Jamaica.
No, when you say the in Canada, if it's big in Jamaica, they glorify 10 times more in Canada.
Right.
What demographic of people are we talking about? Is it Jamaican who migrated to Canada or the Canadian who born and bred there?
The whole city. So, for example, if you realize Drake is a big supporter of popcorn,
Yeah.
right? So, because Drake is the king of the city, because Drake says him, the country says him.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you realize what Drake does when he's giving you a strength. Drake will follow you for 24 hours and unfollow you.
Yeah.
And then say you're
after
welcome.
Yeah.
That is him giving you a strength. Or him tell you, say, yo, well then, where's your phone? Take a picture and post it. You're welcome. That's him giving you a strength. See? So if Drake is saying you,
Yeah.
Everybody in Canada say you.
right. So,
So-
now if you think about it now, other than Popcorn, who have you seen Drake around?
Drake been flirting with dancehall for a bit because back in the days, him and Mova, them,
That was back in the
he,
days.
he was flirting with Mova, them, and some money went missing, school money. I don't know about that. And you mentioned Drake take your phone and give a follow after 24 hours, take a picture and then post it and then take it on. Give us an example. Who do you know Drake done that with in the
Just
dancehall community?
recently, just nobody from the dancehall community. That's my point. I just Popcorn alone. See? And he's not doing that with any dancehall artists or reggae artists in Toronto. Right? And that is basically due to the fact that dancehall selectors in Toronto focus on the Jamaican market,
Than the homegrown.
like the homegrown. So, for example, it was a big thing that if you want to bus, you have to go back to Jamaica.
So let's take the focus back onto you and the
Right.
reason why you're here in the UK now. You were in Leicester recently.
Yeah.
Did you have a show or an interview being done down that
Interview,
side?
BBC, and some other stuff. And
Right.
now they're putting together a show for me and the band to come to Leicester and everywhere in the Midlands. So now we're trying to tie that in with London because I've never,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. We
performed
tried
there.
a project back in the day.
Oh, and that helped my career
Yeah,
greatly.
exactly.
You know what I mean? So yeah.
So
You mentioned, so 1 second, you mentioned you and the band. Did you travel here with a band?
I traveled with the MD, my bass player,
Okay.
who's also a DJ too, but he flew back this morning because he might forget the rest of the band prepared for shows next week.
right.
Yeah.
So the main purpose for your UK visit, no.
It was to promote Reggae Party and the album coming up
Okay.
and to tie in some other projects. So, for example, this morning I recorded with Channel 1. And now we're going to have a project coming out where it's Channel 1 meets Kirk Diamond, which has never been done. You know what I mean? With a UK sound system / producer and a Canadian artist.
Which should be a great synergy.
Yeah.
You feel like it's too hard for be the mantra of the most popular reggae artist from Canada, to be honest. Do you feel like it's a burden you have to carry?
The burden, not really. It's a burden if you're not do nothing with it. If you're not bring nobody with you. That is where because them are going to hate you, number one. But because it is literally a movement where, like, for example, Reggae Party here, Cairo McLean. He's only 14 years old and he already won the Juno.
Yes.
You understand what I mean? And then, like, my bass player, he's only 22-year-old. And if you ever hear him talk about the history of reggae, like, you'd have feel like,
passion.
yeah, you know what I mean? So these are the people that I'm bringing with me.
Right.
That way we can preserve it. And that's not letting go of dancehall either because that's where I started, right? But I personally feel like there needs to be a balance of everything. You know what I
Okay,
mean?
speaking about that, you being the king of reggae in Toronto, Canada, stepping outside of that realm, going in the outside world, do you find yourself fitting in the top echelons or the middle stage, or what ground would you say outside of Canada you would fit in the wider world space of reggae music?
It depends on the perspective that you're looking at it from. So, for example, I am not a part of, for example, the reggae revival crowd. That is not me, 'cause first of all, reggae never did. But first of all, reggae is not even marketed to us. That is something that we need to understand. That reggae is not marketed to us. So when I do a show, I can see 2,000 people from different cultures, and there's hardly anybody that look like me in the crowd, right? So for me to honestly tell you where I fit in, I don't know, because I'm not from that
Yeah,
culture.
we're talking about, speaking of street creds and all that kind of thing, what we know Jamaican brag and boast about.
Can't tell you, because I'm no record for that.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, my kid like literally cannot tell. I just know some alright to do what I do.
Yeah.
So you don't feel you don't seek that validation from your peers, like say for instance, always stay like a dragon say, if you know get validation from the people that are around you, like your own people, them, do you feel like your music is validated, so to speak?
I cannot give people that power over me. Or else I go end up like certain artists, so we see where they're unhappy. And then I go dead unhappy.
Depending on other people.
Because you depend on other people to tell us, say, yo, you know, say you're good or you're not good. Like, for example, no offense to nobody, but look at Merciless.
Yeah.
The man died unhappy, and he's one of the baddest lyricists of the 90s. You understand me? He may sound like Bunty, but he's a better lyricist than the man. See? And he died unhappy because he felt like he was not being or given the respect that he deserved. I'm not giving nobody, I swear to you, nobody will have that power over me.
Well, the reason why I kind of ask that question, because I know, let's give an example, a synopsis. Like how people that say the Bundesliga is a farmers league, and they will say the Spanish league are farmers league, because it's always one or two dominant side.
Right.
Because it's not competitive like the Premier League, where you say you have whole heap of competitive talent otherwise from you, so you can actually be your true potential. That's why I'm asking you, say, outside of Canada, how would you see yourself? Because everybody must judge themselves and say, would me see myself fitting at this? Would me be one step above this guy, or me in the same echelon as this guy in the stage of my career, or whatever? Because everybody, when it comes to validate yourself or introspection with yourself, you have to judge after something.
Okay, so put it this way. If I'm supposed to do, say, for example, a reggae festival, right? And then book Maxi Priest and the Chronics and all the people, right? The promoter may look at me as less than, right?
Yeah.
However, I can go to the Junos and Michael Bublé will come to me and say, hey, Kirk, how's it going? Love the new song. Let's do lunch. No offense to them, but on a world scope, where do you put them compared to a Michael Bublé?
Yeah, but when you come on to Michael Bublé,
what I'm saying to you is that is where I'm at all the time.
But isn't that privilege for you to have like a link to our connection to somebody? Like in Jamaica, would I say you have to have certain link to get to a certain place in your career? Wouldn't you kind of suggest the same thing as that? Because you know certain set of people from different demographic from you, where kind of have big names, co are big say in the music business.
Okay, so here what that comes with coming out of Jamaica, if I'm being honest with you. It comes with people having the perception that you have money.
Yeah.
Right? And then when it's time for me to say, okay, say I'm going to do this and go to Jamaica and promote, then somebody's going to look at me and say, yo, when you're coming, try bring 2 iPhone and it's going to cost you $2,500 for this month, US.
Yeah.
Right? That was maybe like 8 years ago in my career where I might have fallen for that because I'm trying to get validated from them. But at the same time, if I'm being honest again, I went to Jamaica and did this exact same thing, and they almost killed my career.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that the work that you have put in has placed you on that level to be recognized by a Michael Bublé, and those people on those levels. It's the work that you have put in over the couple of years, or more than a couple of years, that has put you in that sector.
Yeah, and then
to be recognized.
Exactly, and then it's like, in July, I did a interview with Cedella Marley when she came to Toronto to open the Bob Marley exhibit. And her advice to me after hearing the owner for the magazine speak about me and play my music was, I'm only going to tell you this one time. Jamaica never liked my father when he was alive. You don't like him when he's dead. Take that and go with it.
Okay.
Yeah, and the way that's everything I talk about there, I'm gonna say, like, so when you got shows, same thing. when you gotta show them with certain artists, like as you said before, do them know who you be? I forget the promotion and the lineup, whatever. That's like when they reach, some people, it's oh yeah, like Jamaican artists, the reggae, them know who you be.
Some of
Kirk
them, yeah.
Diamond.
Yeah.
Yeah, some of them, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
You can be identified.
Yeah.
And again, it's based on the work that you put
that's
in.
the best thing. 'Cause
Speaking about identity, sorry to cut you off, Brett. Speaking about identity, you have that kind of distinctive sound of music, similar to like the nowadays type of what you call hybrid reggae. Was that from the get-go of the career, or is something recently you took on?
My flow has always been that, if I'm being honest. It's just now I'm getting the productions that I enjoy, where I'm bridging modern with vintage,
Yeah.
right? But I've been doing this forever. First of all, you have to remember that I grew up in Canada,
Yeah.
right? So I was exposed to certain things like even grime.
Yeah.
A lot of people wouldn't know that I grew up listening to DWE and all these guys, and you know what I mean? So these things help to shape the way I view rhythms and, you know what I mean, productions and all that.
So your project that you are releasing, talk to us quickly about that, because we're gonna wrap up this segment.
See, well, it's called Dread. It will be out in January, I want to say. And it's 10 songs, and it sounds like
Similar.
the Too Rough and
Okay.
the Reggae Party. And it's,
Because I was saying the reggae party is kind of highlights what you say about the bridging the gap between the
yeah,
vintage and
because
the modern.
just quickly before, like, the segment is over, it's one of them things that where you realize that some of the youth them know, they don't even know who Dennis Brown is,
True.
right? And then it's like, if we that know don't try to preserve these things, it's like,
It's
what
gonna
were
die.
they? Not it's going to die, he's going to die.
Well,
Because the true death is when time nobody no remember you, know.
Yeah.
Right? So when time we gone, you know, we can't take what made us love reggae in the first place with us.
That's
Yeah.
true.
You understand me? So, for example, when was the last time you heard Jacob Miller?
That's true.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, I personally feel like, say, we have a responsibility to make sure that the reason why we love our culture, and no matter what may I say on them something, you know, I love my culture and I love my heritage. See, I'm just representing it in a way where I fit in my own lane, right? Because all the other artists are doing what they're supposed to do. So, for example, like me, I talk to the artist upstairs and he say, like, can you get 5,000 people on your own? I probably could, but I'm not after that. I'm after the people that want to hear a different perspective on reality.
Right.
So if 5 people come on my show, you know, me
You're
I
gonna
deal with 5
execute.
people, you know.
Right.
And if 5,000 people come, it's the same.
Yeah.
But I like intimate crowds when we know, say, yo, when we left here, so, you leave feeling something.
Right.
Speaking
And
about
with-
you preserving the music and the craft, like what you do with reggae party song, using like the old rhythm with a new flow. I realize the modern artists them now, they're not taking the what you call it, the carbon copy, what's set by their forefathers, with like reusing lyrics.
Right.
Like, for instance, like a lot of these older guys, they do a lot of covers. Why don't the younger artists do covers of the older artists by honoring them and preserving their songs and their sound? Just do a cover.
Well, that's the reason why I use Too Rough and you hear Dennis Brown's voice in it. So now you have...
But that's not a cover, that's a sample.
Yeah, but I do that on purpose
Yeah.
because what I find a lot of them was doing, was singing the people them song and not telling you who wrote it or sang it in the first
Giving
place.
credit where it's
They're
due.
not giving credit, and through God's school we know say that is plagiarism.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's plagiarism, but a lot of that go acting dancehall because me growing up, a lot of these songs that we grew up listening to, never know that it was not the original song.
True, true.
And we know those songs word for word, and when you know the original song, you're like, oh,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
And then you start play the original song with that song every time, and you start to want to mash them together. So that kind of give the song longevity,
Yeah.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, true, true. Well, I do that when I perform, you know, like I really do sing mashups and covers when I perform and them things, right?
And it kind of spices up your performance
Yeah.
as well.
See, but then it's almost as if, to me personally, certain things are so great,
Yeah.
it don't make sense to touch it.
Left it alone.
Yeah.
Leave
Leave
it
it to the
alone. Like, for
greats.
example, like, you have some great singers, you know, but you see, if You can't sing Lonely Won't Leave Me Alone like Sanchez.
Mm.
You leave it alone.
That's a cover.
Huh?
That's a
It
cover.
is a cover. But have you heard the original?
Yes,
It better than Sanchez?
because obviously the technology was much different and it was slower. So some of the time you could make a song better or modernize it. For instance, like we see Drake do it a lot. He borrow lines from other people's song, lines from movies, and it come like he give a lot of these song longevity.
Right.
Yeah, but when I say the Sanchez cover that, him for cover that is like a bigger feat, isn't it?
But it's a lot of big hits back in the days that need covering, but we know say this is a good song. And
Well, yeah,
It
that's
just need
something we've
justice.
spoken about before.
Anybody can cover it, you know, but sometimes the artists themselves that's alive,
Yeah.
they don't even like that, some of them.
Yeah.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, it's exactly 10:30. Kirk Diamond out of Canada. You've been here before.
Yeah.
This is not your first rodeo, so you don't know Dragon All Star go drop some beats.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
actually, we're not even take over him segment. All Star, Anglia business.
you know, people at the party, yeah, just play some beat, sing a couple songs. You know the braffing go.
Play by the king for love is all I bring, as I will tell it to you. We used to live in love and harmony. Don't know that there. Up on live show in a Kirk Diamond. Well, once upon a time, we used to live in love and harmony. And once upon a time, my best friend wouldn't wanna be my enemy. And once upon a time, I'm dreaming of once upon a time. Yeah, well, once upon a time, once upon a time. We used to settle with indifferences. Now the difference is friend I kill friend. I can't believe I witnessed this. In these last days, down these pathways, them want me kill my friend, but me and my brother now go pathways. We now go fighting a them gang war, cause I not every ghetto youth a gangster. For all the good times we give thanks for. Though the road rugged, but you know we tried it from far. And we wanna live in love and harmony. Thinking I give me something faster, you know, cause I'm ready for killing her, but it's okay. Make it stay. Well, watch out them banditly. Well, state of emergency. People need justice in an urgency. On the front line with the music, don't occur them see. While currently not silent because of currency. Whoa, hey, but make we flow it down. Bag so we can slow it down. Top beef so them can cow we down. Build every nation power back and then upon our back them won't come true. We don't build every nation power back for free. So if we burn it down, hey, how that sound? You know what's bad mind? When they wanna be without the black mind? If we never join on a bank line, withdraw everything we feed them made full out and them blank mind that to the hand time. Watch and say a black time. Now if you protest with black cause my ear and my skin is my black side. I am a back mind and that's not a crime. So what is your mindset? You free up your mind yet? Emancipate from mental slavery, you still don't feel like a time yet. Can't breathe, it's like me feel the knee, I press against my neck. Dragon, and some me tell them say a state of emergency, and them don't like that. When me don't talk better, them fight that. Hey, well, Kirk Diamond a blinger. Jaja know I'm a singer. Born June, them say cancer, them probably feel I'm a killer. Now lay down on no pillow, me pull this up and no filler. Make it a bad jacket, but them can't do me like thriller. This a boot and no filler. Never been me no stiller. Still I aim for the penthouse, we never starting no seller. Plus man a king conqueror, you know me gorilla. Dan all of the ape, them with them a claim on the thing, yeah. Can't tell me about master unless you talk about P. Me love me prefer answer to niggas before me answer to nigga. When me look in the mirror, me love the skin when me in them say me complexion chocolate, me know me black like vanilla, so me say I'm winning.
Hold on the bread dog. Ladies and gentlemen, Kirk, a bag of fire go up on the screen on my IG. You
Alright.
don't know say how bad from morning. Thank you so much for passing through, for sharing the energy as per usual. You always forward with some positivity, and we appreciate that.
Yeah, man. Give thanks, man. No family,
For,
you know.
yeah, you don't know this is home, bro. This is home. For people who are not following you on social media, where can they find you on social media?
Kirk Diamond, KirkDiamond.
And they can follow your music where?
Everywhere. Spotify,
Just
anywhere.
search for Kirk Diamond.
Yeah, just look for Kirk Diamond.
And we're looking forward to seeing the projects that you'll be putting out shortly. You'll be here with us for a little while. So we're gonna see some things.
Yeah, man.
We're gonna see some things forwarding out. Yeah. Give thanks, brother. Keep
Yeah,
up
man,
the great
give
work.
thanks.
You don't know Up and Live Show team is one of your supporters.
Always.
From long
Of course,
time.
yeah.
No.
That is it.
Yeah, that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Don't
Catch you at
don't
the
don't
live.
touch the dial, you know, because from one bad artist to our next bad artist. So